Proverbs 28 verse 1. The wicked man flees though no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. Let's look at those two parts separately. The first part, the wicked man flees though no one pursues. There's a way of living that just imagines all kinds of horrible things are going to happen, right? We're always on the run. We're always fearful. We're always scared, even if nothing's actually happening. The proverb says that's the way the wicked live. Do you know that feeling? When I was a kid, our house and my grandparents' house were a few blocks apart, and in between there was a cemetery. And to get from our house to my grandparents, often instead of going around the cemetery, we'd go through it, which was fine in the daytime, but at nighttime, that was a little bit scarier. At nighttime, when the wind was blowing and the moon was out and you couldn't really see anything too well, it was easy for my imagination to imagine some stuff that was going to happen to me in the cemetery. And so I remember lots of times getting to the edge of the cemetery, taking a great big breath, and running as hard as I could to the other side of it until I got out of it again. I only did that because I was imagining something that wasn't even going to happen. In fact, I was probably safer in the cemetery than I was walking the streets, right? But there's a way of living that's like that, where we can just conjure up all sorts of imaginations and all sorts of horrible things, and we can wring our hands and worry ourselves to death until we're just running all the time, away from what we think might be happening. The wicked man flees, though no one pursues him. French philosopher by the name of Michel de Montaigne in the 1500s said this: "My life has been filled with terrible misfortune, most of which never happened." Do you see what he's saying? I worried about a lot of things. I ran away from a lot of stuff. I was in fear most of the time, but in the end, most of that didn't happen because nothing was really going on. We can be our own worst enemies sometimes. The wicked man flees, though no one pursues. But the righteous are as bold as lions. I don't know about you, but I want to be bold. I don't want to be scared. I don't have a lot of experience with lions, but there was one at the Wild Animal Park in Moose Jaw when I was a kid, and you'd go up to his cage and kids would scream and people were making noise all around him and nothing bothered that lion. He just sat there because he knew who was in charge. He wasn't scared of a bunch of little noisy kids. Didn't bother him. I don't have a lot of experience with lions. I do have more experience with bears, though, because Sarah's mom lives near Riding Mountain National Park, and we often see black bears when we're in there. If you see a black bear on the side of the road, you just stay in your car because everyone knows who's in charge of that situation. The black bear is not going to be scared of you. In fact, we were camping in Riding Mountain one time, and a neighbor came over to my campsite and said, "Hey, do you want to see a black bear?" And I said, "Sure." So we go across the way, and here someone had left all their food in their screen tent, and there was a black bear in there just eating all their food. And so the guy I was with said, "Well, maybe we ought to get that out of there. Maybe we should help this guy out. He was in town or something." So I grabbed a couple of pots and pans and started walking towards this bear. Clang, clang, clang. We were going to scare this bear away, me and this other guy. Clang, 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 clang. And as we clang, clang, clanged our way towards this bear, the bear looked up at us like this. And we went clang, 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 back to our campsites because we knew who was in charge. The bear was bold and we were not, right? Maybe you saw the video this past year of the guy who came across a mountain lion and her babies, and that mountain lion turned around and started stalking him, and he was backing up and trying to get away, and that mountain lion just kept coming because the mountain lion wasn't scared. It was bold. I want to be bold. I don't want to live my life worrying all the time and wringing my hands and missing out on things because I'm just too scared. Proverbs says the wicked are fleeing and they're scared, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. The reason the righteous are bold is because they know who is in charge. They know who's looking after them. They know that God is with them. We need to know that so that we live this life properly. If you're still in the book of Proverbs, Proverbs 28, verse 26 says this: "He who trusts in himself is a fool, but he who walks in wisdom is kept safe. What we're going to try and do over the next few weeks is fill our minds with God's wisdom so that we would know that God is living with us and walking with us, so that he's directing us, and so that we will remember who's in charge. When we remember that, we won't run in fear, we will be bold. The wicked run in fear though no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as lions. We need some boldness in our life today.